Feeling tired? F that. Perk up and level up with Bung Coffee's delicious modern dark roast. Your favourite brewer's favourite brew. bungbungcoffee.com.
Welcome to the party. Best show on the internet. Ask anybody. You know it's easy money. Sit back, relax, get your headphones, everybody. Welcome to the party. Blackout in the booth. Every episode's a party. We go hard like Ricky Bobby. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, Bung. It's your man Claytron, aka the big boss man, aka the clumsy jeweler, because I'm always dropping gems, aka the PhD of podcasting, Magnum PR podcast, and the captain, the Keith Robinson of podcasting, because man, honestly, I've been in this game for a long time, and sometimes I feel like I'm doing it with only half my body. Is that offensive? That feels offensive, but shout out to Keith Robinson, man. The reason I actually went with Keith Robinson is the movie that I'm going to review today. I reached out to Keith Robinson, who, by the way, if you're not deep into comedy, I mean, you don't have to be that deep into comedy, but some people don't know who Keith Robinson is, and that's okay. But Keith Robinson is a great comedian. You can look him up on Netflix. He's got a Netflix special. What was it called? I reckon I've got it written down in my notes. Different strokes, because he's had a couple of strokes, and it's a great special. It is a great special, so watch that. But I reached out to him after I watched that special, and he said that he would come on the podcast, which was pretty exciting, and I was like, awesome. Just let me know which movie you want to talk about, and we'll link up. And we went back and forth on email. I hit him up on Instagram first, and he got back real quick and he said, "Hey, just hit my email because my inbox fills up. I'll lose you or whatever." And I was like, awesome. I emailed him. He got back to me. We went back and forth a few times. Found a time, and at that time, I had just stopped working, so I was like pursuing comedy so heavy, comedy and podcasting. So he was like, "Does this time work?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." It was like 2 a.m. my time. Anyway, I was like, "Yeah, lock that in, man." It's like 2 a.m. for me, so just if you can't make it, just let me know. Just let me know so I can, plan for that. And this was like, I'd say maybe 18 months ago. So Kenny would have been maybe 2.5 or something at the time. We're already like, he wasn't sleeping perfect. But I didn't have anywhere to be. I didn't have a job or anything. So it was whatever. For Keith Robinson, man, yeah, I'll get up and do a podcast at 2 a.m. I get up at 2 a.m. All of a sudden it's 2:30. He's not on the call. I send him a message on Instagram. I shoot him an email. I'm like, "Yo, are we still doing this?" I don't hear back. I go back to bed at about 3 o'clock. Wake up, I've got a message. "Oh man, I'm so sorry. Something came up. Let's make another time." And then it just kind of fizzled out, and we never got to do it. And I've had all these notes in my phone about this movie. I guess in hopes that we'd reschedule it, but man, you get like I was deep enough into comedy at the time. I was probably 5.5 years in, but now I'm 7 years in, and I understand, like, you don't really want to do a podcast with someone you don't know unless there's something in it for you, unless it's going to get you a lot of views, if it's going to get you if it's perfect timing to promote your new special or whatever. And Different Strokes was pretty new at the time, I think. So I think we would have promoted the special, but compared to like the podcast run he's got available to him, like, this is nothing. Who gives a fuck? So I get it. And I get it. Yeah, I get it. Even it's hard. It's hard to have banter. I've been on the radio a few times with people that I don't know from a bar of soap or whatever. And it is really, really hard to have like a meaningful conversation. Obviously the radio is very G-rated and I'm not very G-rated. I do my best. But sometimes you try to like start a riff and they don't go with you, and it makes you feel so dumb, man. It makes you feel so dumb when you try to have a little bit of fun and they're just like, yeah. And I was like, oh shit. I've seen it a lot with Rogan, man. But Rogan seems like a serious guy. He laughs a lot because he's like stoned most of the time, but he's very curious, which is why he's so good at talking to anyone, because he wants to know everything about everything. But he's with curiosity, I think sometimes comes like earnest or something. And sometimes you see people try to start a riff or throw in a gag, and he won't get it or he won't run with it. And sometimes it's like one of my favorite comedians or whatever. So I'm like, I start to get licking my lips a little bit, licking my chops, and then it goes nowhere, and I get disappointed. But whatever. But that's what it's like with everyone I've ever done a podcast with that I didn't know, right? So I understand why me and Keith never end up doing. But he's got health issues. He's a touring comedian. It's hard. Look at that. Bung coffee, baby. Nothing like it. Hell yeah. So yeah, me and Keith, we never got it to happen, but I've still got the notes in my phone, so I'm going to give it a crack, given that I watched the movie a year and a half, maybe more, maybe longer ago. So we'll see if I can remember it. The score in my phone is pretty good, but before we get into Clay's reviews, let's just do a little weekly recap since the last episode. I went to Victor Harbour last week, not for a gig. I just went down there, went to the Port Elliot Bakery, of course. And when you start talking about the Port Elliot Bakery, because it's like mainstream greatness. It's like LeBron. It's the LeBron James of bakeries. So it's immediately going to have haters. And you guys are going, why would you choose LeBron James when you are a hater of LeBron James? It's just the easy. It was the first thing that came to mind. It was the easiest. But like LeBron James is objectively great at basketball, but he's only subjectively the GOAT. I don't think I've got him second. I think he might be fifth. He might not break my top five. Sorry. I don't want to get into that. I'd prefer to have someone here, a basketball fan here, to argue with me to talk about top fives. We got phones going off. Childish, man. I'll have to call back after. Sorry about that. But where was I? Yeah, so I went to the Port Elliot Bakery. And yeah, some people, when you start talking about the Port Elliot Bakery, they're like, that bakery's not even that good. You ever tried the Wakery Bakery? You ever tried the Port Wakefield Bakery? Yeah, bro. Yeah, all right. Fuck, there's only so much you can do with hot meat and gravy in a pastry, bro. It's fine. It's all good. There's only one shitty bakery, and I live right near it. And it's, I don't mean to do this, but the bakery culture, I think it belongs to people of English descent, white people, bro. And I haven't done my research on this. I don't know where the bakery began, but it surely didn't begin with Indians. And this bakery down the road is an Indian-run bakery, and I went there once, and I was like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this that I'm eating? I couldn't cope. I couldn't cope with it, bro. So I won't go back there. And hey, I don't really know if I'm that interested in going to a Indian place ran by white people. I've never done it. It probably exists and it's probably fine. But this bakery's not. But like most bakeries are, because bakery food is just inherently good food. You know, like you can say like as a general rule, there's no bad Thai restaurants. But that one's like the fucking McDonald's version of Thai food. Yeah, bro. There's luxury burgers out there, but McDonald's is still delicious. Sorry, like it's not top of the line, but it's good. It's just like burgers are good in general, man. So that's what I'm saying about bakeries is like, yeah, I went to the Port Elliot Bakery. Sue me, bro. So sorry, it's mainstream, but it's out of town. So it's like, bro, it's got a queue. I went there on a Friday thinking like it's not school holidays. It's not, people are at work and shit. I'm still lining up. It was wild. Their pie of the month was like a broccoli and cauliflower pie. I was keen to try that. It wasn't cool. It wasn't ready. So I just got like a steak and gravy pie or whatever it's called. And then I got the donut of the month, which was hectic, bro. And I do care about my weight. If I was really working to like fix it though, I wouldn't eat for another week after that. I honestly think it was 5,500 calories. This thing was wild, bro. It was wild. I had a gig that night, Friday night, Gin and Comics. And the link to Gin and Comics is in the bio of most of these episodes when I remember to do it. But Gin and Comics, last Friday of every month in Port Adelaide at Millage's Distillation, bro. And we had a gig on Friday night, and it's got a capacity of 60. We sold 47 or something, so it was close. We almost got to that sellout. Check this out. You get it for a full room and you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good night. And it was. But I'm at the door, I'm taking tickets, people are walking in and I'm telling them about Cold-Blooded Advice, which is the segment at the end of the show where we pull your questions out of a bucket and we answer them as comedians because our minds work in, unsavory ways. It's fun. It's very fun. And usually when I tell everybody, I give the brief about the bucket, right? People are like, oh, we'll fill that up for you. Got plenty of problems over it. You say the same thing. We'll sort you out, One guy said that. 47 people in, one guy said that. And I'm like, I like it when they say it. I have a feeling this is going to be a quiet crowd, and they were quiet. Had to really work for it, but it's good, bro, to flex that muscle, man, to really like be like, okay, I've got to do something here to get these guys on board, and all three of us had to do that. Shout out to Tom Matthews and Bill Egan. All three of us had to work for it, and I think all three of us got what we needed. So I think it was a good show. I think we all did well. There was nothing wrong with the crowd. They were just a quiet crowd, shy crowd. But we had to battle for it a bit, which I think it's good for you. You can't all be killers. Like the shows can't all be just like rip the roof off kind of shows, but just like grinding it out. Sometimes, like a couple years ago, that like really made me nervous. And now I kind of I don't want every gig to be like that, but I like sometimes having to work for it. Just humbles you a bit, reminds you to like you can't be in autopilot. You got to fucking bring the heat. So we brought it and we figured it out. It was a good show. They, Cold-Blooded Advice went off, always does. But yeah, that was that. Then can't really remember what we did Saturday. I don't think much. Gardening. We had a gardening day Saturday, which was good to get out there, get some weeds up, mow the lawn. Went crazy out there. My feet were sore. I forget that my gardening boots, my outdoor boots, are one size too big, so I usually wear 2 pairs of socks. I only wore 1 pair of socks. Got some blisters. That was nice. And dude, borrowed a wheelbarrow from my neighbour, dude. And I've been talking about this to many people lately. You got online communities, right? But the sense of community and neighborhood is gone. It's completely gone. But not completely gone. Sorry, I misspoke. I generalized too much because some people have little community, like neighbors and stuff. I've never had it. I've moved around a lot in my life, but even with Rach, she's a neighborly person. At our old house, we didn't really engage with the neighbors at all. One of them was like a drug kingpin or something. I'll have to tell that story another time, I think. I've told it before. I can't get into it today because I'm waiting for the cleaners to arrive and I have to pack up this setup before they get here. So DM me or something to remind me to tell the story about the drug dealer over the street. But anyway, we didn't really get into any of our neighbors down there. But here, our neighbors across the street are awesome. And then we're kind of on 2 blocks here. So we've got 2 neighbors that are directly across the street. The old ones on the corner, older ones on the corner are beautiful. Love them to death. Greek, they have like Greek Easter. They bring us over leftovers and all that. Just lovely. Then they've got neighbors who are directly across from us as well, and they're like a younger sort of share house. Don't engage much. Sort of only engage when like some shit pops off. Like we had this guy having like a manic episode out the front. He was saying he was going to kill our dogs and our whole family and stuff. Called the cops, and the cops arrived and took him to hospital and shit because he was having like a manic episode. He was harmless, but he was talking a lot of wild shit, you know, talking about killing my family and my dogs, bro. Like it was like I wasn't scared because like we've got a short fence. Like you can step over our fence, right? If he meant business, he would have just come and done something. He was just pacing around out the front. But I knew I wasn't like worried for our safety because I knew it wasn't legit, but he needed some help. So we called the cops, and then all the neighbors came out because he was going pretty wild that night. So all the neighbors came out. We had a little fucking neighborhood watch meeting out there, and then the next house is a share house, definitely doing it illegal. I reckon like 12 people live in there. There's definitely not 12 bedrooms. So I don't know what's going over there. I told you guys about the time old boy over there reversed into my car, smashed his tail light, and I picked up the piece and I mashed it up to his car. It fit perfectly, and I went over there and I got more aggressive than I needed to, and that happens sometimes, and it's weird. Like, you know how like you go out drinking, you wake up from a blackout. Some people are like, blackout? What the fuck's wrong with you? Who blacks out? Sometimes we black out, bro. Get with it. Anyway, you know, you wake up from a blackout, you've always got anxiety. Oh, what did I do last night? What did I say? Oh, God, who have I got to call? Who have I got to apologize to? That's when I rage, that's how I feel. And there's been a couple times like I felt shame about that. Because he's just an old man, like not hell old, but you know, white hair. He's got white hair. I guess some young people do too. But like I threatened him a bit. And the level of shame I feel about that, like every time I see him, I'm reminded of it. I'm like, oh, that's an old man. What are you doing, cunt? Fuck's wrong with you? Then there was like a kids party down the street, and they came and like they were smashing letterboxes, and I ran out there. Fuck off, God! Fuck off! Oh, get the fuck out of here! And the Greek neighbors across the street, were outside and saw that, and the next day when I woke up and I'd calmed down, I was like, fuck, I wish I didn't do that in front of them. That's embarrassing. Yeah, but anyway, you have like a rage blackout. It's basically the same as like an alcohol blackout. You wake up with all this shame and shit. So, fuck, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, my neighbours. But yeah, the guy with all of the fucking share houses. Our neighbours, they're all Nepalese. They're super nice. Like next door neighbours. Then the second door down, she's lovely. We've gone over there for like Christmas drinks. And then like down the street more, we've got more neighbours, and one of those neighbours is Michael, and I borrowed his wheelbarrow. And this is a long story short, man. People don't. If I'm making muffins, then I open the fridge up and I'm like, oh fuck, we don't have eggs. I'm usually like, I guess I'm not making muffins. You know, let's assume it's, you know, shops are closed at this point. Oh, why don't you just Uber Eats some fucking eggs from the servo? I'm not getting servo eggs, cunt. And I'm also not Uber Eatsing eggs. Eggs are already like $14. I'm not going to spend fucking $22 on eggs. Are you fucking out of your mind? So yeah, if I don't have eggs and I realize that late into the recipe, then I'm not having muffins. But like back in the day, people used to know all their neighbour. Oh, can I please borrow some brown sugar? Right? Is that Bad Boys or is that Big Mama's house? Anyway, you used to go and borrow brown sugar. You used to go and borrow eggs. And I have never done that. And Rach has done that here, which is, so that makes you think, like, we've got a beautiful community here, but like, are people still doing that? Are people still doing community? I don't know. It doesn't feel like it sometimes. I feel like everyone's just on their phones all the time, jerking off or whatever, and like, you know, calling each other the N-word or R-word or F-word, whatever. Like, that's really all I see at the moment. T-word, that's trans. But there's a trans, and then the bad word for trans is so close. They're so close. Whereas like gay versus the F word, they're not even close. So like the F word, yeah, bad. That's bad. Gay, not bad. F word, bad. But trans and the little bit longer T word is almost the same, but the other one's like real bad. Pretty interesting. You know, N word versus like there's two N words, isn't there? They both sound the same, but they're different. They're a little bit different. Hard R, bad. Soft A, not bad. But bad even if you go soft A as a white guy, still kind of bad. Unless you're like, what's his name? The UFC fighter. Do they call him the Diamond? Dustin Poirier. You remember that video of Dustin Poirier? He was in the airport or something. Someone was talking shit and he's like, let's go right now. It's going to get bad for you. It's going to get bad for you, nigga. I was like, what? What? Shit, he can say it. He can say it. Really, anybody can say it to me now. I've said this publicly, man. You think I'm going to step up to fight you when everyone potentially knows UFC now? When I was growing up, I used to get in fight. You said the N-word to me, I was going to smack the taste out your mouth, bro. And now everyone's doing MMA and shit. Oh, you're going to put me in a rear naked choke on the street? I'm good. Shit, you can disrespect me to my face in front of my family, bro. For real. And saying that just after I've talked about like raging out on strangers, but like I'm picking my fucking targets, I guess. Raging out on, you know, old man over the street and young drunk kids. Like a drunk 16-year-old trying to swing on me, bro. Slow-mo swing? No chance, bro. No chance. Now, a sober 16-year-old, I'm not risking it. Call me the N-word, brother. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get into it with you, bro. 16? Got that testosterone pumping, bro. Probably have a boner for no reason, just fucking beating the shit out of me while you're fucking bricked up, dude. I'm not putting myself through that. I'm not putting myself through that, dude. Can't do it. But long story short, bro, I borrowed the wheelbarrow and I'm going back and forth because I was digging, bro. I was planting trees, had to dig deep, plant the trees. And, you know, you're not allowed to put dirt in your green bin because it's so heavy. So I was just dumping it out the back. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We got a lot of space, so it'll probably just stay there forever. But I don't know. Maybe I'll build a bike ramp for Kenny when he's off the old training wheels. But yeah, he's a lot of dirt. And blistered up. Anyway, that was Saturday. Then we went to a kid's birthday on Sunday at a brewery, but they've got like a creek and they've got a pirate ship and like a tightrope. Kids love it. It's a brewery, man, but they got shit beer. So I was drinking gin and soda. Skinny bitch drank because of the donut 2 days earlier, the 5,000 calorie donut. So, you know, it was a bit of a weekend, man. Just like highs and lows, but mostly highs. Sugar highs, gardening highs, performance highs, and alcohol highs, really. So just, yeah, all round good weekend. And now we're here. We're back on the couch, which is this is where we're doing the podcast now. Been thinking about maybe putting the green screen up behind me and like maybe having like psychedelic shit behind me while I do this, but we're doing the Poddy in colour now because it's a new phase of the podcast. We're introducing colour. Maybe next time I take a 12-month break, we'll come back with a green screen behind us and do all types of shit. But I reckon it's time to break into Clay's reviews, man.
Comedy, action, horror. Will this movie win an Oscar? Set design, directing, acting, lighting, or costumes? This segment is Clay's Reviews.
All right. So, like I said, I gave you a long run up there at the beginning. Keith Robinson was supposed to discuss this movie with me. I don't think it's going to happen. I think my only guests from now on are going to be my friends, famous or not. And Keith Robinson, man, shout out to him. Thanks for even responding to me and putting me onto this movie. It was a great movie. It's called Happiness. And I watched it on YouTube. And I thought, so you guys can watch this one for free. You guys can watch this one up for free. And I thought, you know, this movie is going to be called Happiness. I'm gonna eat some happiness for my treat while I watch this movie. And so I got a Happy Meal from McDonald's, the aforementioned McDonald's. And then you sit down, you start watching the movie and you start to realize, oh shit, I'm not eating a Happy Meal to sort of add to the happiness of this film. I'm eating a Happy Meal because I'm probably gonna need this happiness because this movie's kind of devastating. It is funny. It is a funny movie. Bung coffee. It is a funny movie. It's out there, man. I do have the plot here. I'll just read it to you because it's one of those movies where it's all intertwined. I'm going to read you both plots here. So the short one gives you fuck all information. The lives of several individuals intertwine as they go about their lives in their own unique ways, engaging in acts which society as a whole might find disturbing in a desperate search for human connection. So that's vague, guys, but basically it's like 7-8 people. It's a lot of stories. They all intertwine. They all come together as a whole at some point. We've seen this before. I think that movie Crash is like that. You know, you've seen Pulp Fiction, my favorite film. They do that. Tarantino's very good at doing that. I can't remember who did Crash. I think Traffic is like that. I think Traffic is the movie I'm talking about. I don't even know what Crash is. Anyway, Intertwined. But this plot gives a little bit more information, which is going to be better for me to give you so I don't have to recall everything from the film. But a woman breaks up with her boyfriend. He thinks it's because he's fat. A man is unable to tell his next door neighbor that he finds her sexually attractive. An old couple wants to split up, but they don't want to get a divorce. A therapist masturbates to teen magazines. An 11-year-old kid is insecure about the fact he hasn't masturbated yet. Office workers try to recall the face of a co-worker who recently died. A woman is sure that she has everything she could ever want. The lives of these individuals intertwine as they go about their lives in their own unique ways, engaging in acts which society as a whole might find disturbing in a desperate search for human connection. So yeah, it's just like people living their life, they got problems. It gives a human aspect to like people that you would not necessarily agree with, that you might judge unfavorably. It gives a human aspect to that. So like I said, you know, there's a guy who masturbates to teen magazines. That's not good. That's not good, man. But there's a shame. There's a shame that he has. There is oh man, it is hard. It is really hard to recall. I think he's got a child, which is disturbing. But like the way that these people are depicted and the way that they still want to be able to fit in, they want some level of connection, is masterfully done. Keith told me that he watched. The reason he chose Happiness for our podcast that never eventuated was because, you know, I told him I was from Australia, and he said, I watched this movie in Australia with Patrice O'Neal. And I was very, very excited to obviously get Keith's spin on it, but also I would have loved to know, and probably an annoying question, you know, everybody who had anything to do with Patrice is always like, oh, what do you think Patrice would think of this today? And blah, blah, blah. Like, who knows? He's not here to tell us. But I would have loved to hear how Patrice received this movie. Whether he sat there and consumed it and absorbed it, or whether he clowned it. Like, I wonder if he talked through the whole thing or whatever. You know, that's what I kind of wanted that information. But the initial scene is a breakup scene. So yeah, he thought it was because he was fat. The girl was breaking up with the guy. The guy thought it was because he was fat. And you know, we've all been through breakups. It was easy to relate to, actually, because I've been on both sides of that table. You know, I think they were in a diner and he's making assumptions. Oh, it's because of this. It's because I'm fat. She's like, no, it's not that. She's trying to give him like confidence. Like, she's breaking up with him, right, for her sake. But she's worried about him. Carl Barron's got a joke about having a conversation with somebody and they spit on your face, but you don't say anything and you don't wipe it off. He says, oh, your spit on my face, worry about your feelings. And that's sort of like what a breakup is. Like, I'm not happy in this relationship. I don't feel safe. I don't feel good here. So I need to get out. But I hope you feel okay about it, right? And that's yeah, that's what this opening scene was, and it was beautiful, man, because they did it really well. She didn't want to be there, and then he's actually being toxic, like, oh, it's because I'm fat, isn't it? It's because I'm fat, like, and she's like comforting him, and you can kind of get an idea of what the relationship was like. Like, this insecure guy constantly needs like reassurance, which I think I talked about recently, like maybe my first episode back. I was like, oh, I was that guy in a relationship. Tell me you love me, bitch, right now. I need to hear it, or else I'm not gonna be okay. Like, that's kind of what this relationship was. And I've been that fucking weak guy on that side of the table, but I've also been on the other side of the table. Like, nah, you're good. It's just not gonna work out. I've also been too honest. You know, maybe this is going to help you in the future if you know this about yourself. I don't like this, that, and the third about you. Hold on, I just need to check. I think the cleaners might be. No, we're still good. But I do have to probably wrap this up soon. It's another short one, but yeah, that opening scene in the I think it's a diner, but it's a breakup, and it was funny. It was funny because I could relate to both of them, and that's interesting. Whether that was just like because of my personal experience, and maybe so, but like oftentimes you can only relate to one side or heavily favor relating to one side of these interpersonal conflicts in films. I think one of the best shows at getting you to relate to both sides is Curb Your Enthusiasm, because everything is so overdone, right? Everything's an overreaction from both sides of the conflict, so that you're like, you understand the initial problem, right? Oh, why are you sampling every flavor? You know what vanilla tastes like. You know what chocolate tastes like. Don't sample those, right? And then he gets so worked up to a point of like, this is ridiculous, that then you start to even side with the person that's out of pocket in the first place. And in every conflict, you can feel that. And that's my favorite part about Curb, is I can relate to both sides of the argument, because it's so... no one would react to this level. So you can't relate to the level of reaction, but then you can relate to both sides being like, this motherfucker's out of pocket. So I don't know if that was the intention of the breakup or if I just lived both sides of that, but I enjoyed that part. Hold on, I'll go through my notes here. Oh, I've got some notes here that I can't even remember. Montage of shitty relationships. Loneliness, lovelessness, all weaved together. And I've written here, the pursuit of happiness, no matter how that comes to you. Some people can't reach happiness in a normal manner. Some people need despicable and shameful acts for some. So like a pedophile, jerking off to teen magazines. That's really sad too, is like that's peak happiness. And that's like, is that as bad as it gets? Or if you feel that happiness doing that, do you then crave more? Watching, like, if you're a porn addict, is porn enough for you, or do you need to move on to prostitutes, hookers, strip clubs? Do you need the real thing? Do you need the flesh? If you're an incel, you're trying hard. Does that turn you into a rapist, man? Or does that turn you into a misogynist? Because you can't get laid, so you just end up hating women. It's layers, man, and that was the main one in this film, was this guy masturbating to these things. I think he was a dad. I seem to recall like him going into his kid's bedroom, to kiss him goodnight and like panicking because I thought he was going to do something. I can't recall because it was so long ago, Keith. What else have we got here? Oh yeah, just like I was going to talk to Keith about because of the loneliness. I was going to talk to Keith about loneliness on the road and like what that leads to. Fucking batting it in a hotel room over and over again until your dick about falls off. But where you go? The scenes regularly went from funny to tragic like that, dude, like in seconds. Or the other way around, started tragic and then switched to funny, which is, it sounds hard, but it is hard. It is hard because they say tragedy plus time equals comedy, but this had no time. It was like tragic, bang, funny, which is artful. I just want to see who wrote this. I think that's worth probably Todd Solondz. He also directed it. What do we got here? Philip Seymour Hoffman, lustful, shameful, regular close-ups signify his selfish needs. Absolute social outcast, boring. Even his therapist is tuning out. So what guy would he have been? Maybe he's the one that couldn't tell his next door neighbor. Yeah, I don't know. Can't remember. There was a woman in the movie called Joy, and she was joyful and innocent, positive, but remains in a downward spiral. No matter how positive you try to be, shit is still going to happen. And dude, I think that's in the world that we're in, man. And algorithms and all of that shit is like, you can be having a good day and not engage with the news or news.com or nightly news on TV, and you come back to your house. You've escaped the horrors of the day. Nothing happened personally to you or your family or your friends. It's been just a day, a solid day. Nothing terrible has happened. No one's been hurt that you know. You lay down in bed, you open up that fucking box, not in the good way, just talking about your phone. And the first thing you see is like, oh, a mother jumped off a cliff with a toddler and newborn. Murder-suicide. It's like, fuck. I almost made it through the whole day. I thought nothing happened today. And now the final thought before I go to sleep is about a mother killing her two children and herself. And what was going on? What was this mental illness? Was she escaping domestic violence? Regardless of what happened, why wasn't there help? That's your final thoughts before you go to bed at night after a good day. And that's what this Joy character is. Like, Joy isn't joy without pain. And that's not a new concept, and it's kind of on the nose to call her Joy, like that her character name be Joy, but she's in a constant downward spiral, even though she personifies positivity. So I guess it's kind of like the anti-secret. You know that book, The Secret, where you can just manifest anything you want by the power of positive thinking or whatever? It kind of spits in the face of that idea. Like, you can be as positive as you want. nothing outlasts time, right? Someone around you might live a good life and die of old age, regardless of you being positive. You might get made redundant from the job of your dreams, regardless of how positive you are about the situation. That your positivity cannot change the economic climate. You know, like it's just shit happens. It's just a shit happens situation, right? It's good. It's good, I think. Oh yeah. So the guy, yeah, I think he did go further than just jerking off in magazines, right? He's looking through the fence at a kid playing baseball. The music was positive. The visuals were lucid, but he had shameful facial expressions, almost as if he knew what he was going to do with this kid, which is dark, very dark. And he's watching it from behind a chain link fence, symbolizing his eventual imprisonment. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, he does have a son. And I think he has a conversation with him before he gets arrested. And I think he tells him what he's done. And he said, I never wanted to hurt anyone. I would never hurt you or something. And his son is the kid that's struggling with the fact that he's never masturbated. That's his story in the movie. And then eventually you see him again. The final shot of the film is actually this kid's face as he comes, sprays out, success, roll credits at the end, which is, I think I recall the first time that I busted, bro. I remember it. And people don't believe me when I say it. My first time busting was with a friend of mine, a lady friend. Thank you very much. I won't name her. She probably wouldn't be heaps proud of it, but she jerked me off to completion, baby. And I obviously had never felt that before. It was very exciting, the feeling. It felt very good, obviously. We know about the feeling. You guys have felt it. Hopefully you guys have felt it. And it wasn't even in a car. I think jerk-off it should be exclusively a car maneuver. I think if you've got space, you should at least be getting your mouth put around, her mouth put around it. Or I think the jerk-off is, an exclusive car move, maybe at a lookout. But she jerked me off and I sprayed out and I went to the bathroom to clean myself up and I looked in the mirror and I smiled, bro. And I said, what did I say to myself? This is so corny, but I smiled at myself and I said something about something like you're a man now, or like welcome to adulthood or some shit like that. I think I said you're a man now is ringing a bell, but this is something I said out loud to myself in the mirror as I was cleaning up my own cum after a friend of mine, a lifelong friend, jerked me off and inevitably took my virginity. She we had an agreement. We had a couple sleepovers. We knew each other since we were toddlers. We had a couple sleepovers. I've got the red flashing line now. Battery's about to die, so let's wrap it up. We had a couple sleepovers, and the summer leading into high school. So year 7's going into year 8. We said, should we do it? should we have sex before high school? You know, we know each other. We're safe with each other. It was the most adult conversation I've ever had in my life. I was 12 years old. And we did it. We decided to do it going into high school. And then my next time doing it was like 4 or 5 years later. But did it early, got it off, and started referring to all my friends as virgins for like a strong 6 months there. I think I was pretty stoked with myself. But happiness, you'll find it if you get jerked off to completion, maybe sometimes by yourself or sometimes by a lifelong friend of yours. But the film is worth a watch, free on YouTube. Go watch it, and I give it 8.5 Dolly magazines out of 10, man. All right, you know what to do. If you're in Adelaide, check out the links for Gin and Comics. I've got some more shows starting up. I've got one at the Lindock Tavern. No, the Lord Lindock in Lindock, Barossa Valley. We'll have a show there in November. Tickets aren't available yet, but they will be. Gin and Comics, obviously Port Adelaide, last Friday of every month. Clay McMath Comedy, welcome to the Poddy, on everything. Go follow it. Instagram's good, Facebook's good, Twitter's good, TikTok, whatever. Clay McMath Comedy, welcome to the Poddy. Follow it on everything. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, rate, review, comment. Just comment your dick off in the comment section of everything I post. All right? Okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I'm having fun doing this. Shout out to Tom. Tom sent me a message saying he's happy that the Poddy's back. Mill sent me a message. It's good. It's good. People are happy that it's back. I'm happy that it's back. It's making me feel good. I don't laugh out loud a lot when I do it, but I think it's funny. I do think it's funny. I try not to talk heaps about cum, but today there was a fair bit of cum right there at the end. So anyway, I love you guys. Remember to love yourselves. And as always, bung, bung.
Oh my God, it's so big and strong.
Bung Bung Coffee. Big, strong flavour. Competition? I don't think so. bungbungcoffee.com. Get yours.